Duolingo uses unpaid volunteers to create their courses and moderate their discussion pages. This has led to many incorrect sentences and problems with how they teach the language. The people who created the language courses do not know the language they are teaching. Instead, they use Google Translate to create faulty translations, and do not even know the language well enough to correct the Google translation before publishing it on the app. This poses two problems. It teaches or reinforces bad grammar and word choice to learners, and frustrates people who are already fluent in the language. This creates an environment where everyone is unhappy. To make matters worse, Duolingo knows that their courses are full of errors, but will not fix them, because they will not hire a linguist to make those judgment calls. Instead, Duolingo just makes it against the forum rules to say anything bad about Duolingo. You cannot point out that Duolingo's grammar or word choice is wrong. You cannot complain about the amount of time this question has been wrong for, sometimes for years before it is corrected. Forum moderators are unpaid volunteers who are not linguists either. They are probably people who are interested in learning the language as well, and do not have the authority to change anything at Duolingo. They do have the authority to ban users and delete their posts, so that is what they do. Duolingo does, however, offer one service. It is a community of people trying to learn language. You can get help from other users on their site. The best help you will get from Duolingo is links to other sites that actually teach the language correctly. The students and volunteers on Duolingo are mostly good people who just want to learn a new language. Some of them have inflated senses of accomplishment, though since Duolingo courses are very basic and easy to cheat at, it makes them feel good to log into an app that claims they know 20 different languages, even though it is not true. Their understanding of the language is probably basic at best. Duolingo courses are at a very basic level, because that is all that Google Translate can accurately produce. When they tried to expand their Spanish language course to an advanced level, it was a disaster since Google Translate is not that accurate, and their staff are not actual linguists. Their staff are computer programmers and network engineers. They keep the app and site running, work on payment processing programs, and respond to technical problems with devices, etc. All the language work is being done by unpaid volunteers who don't have a work ethic or professional standard, because they are not being paid for the work they are doing. They are being exploited by a for-profit company. It is borderline illegal for a for-profit company to accept volunteer labor like this, especially when it is the basis of their service. Their app would not exist if language learners did not create the input to create the courses or point out mistakes that other users, mods, or course creators made. Duolingo courses are inconsistent, since they are written by multiple people. 10% could be created by one person, then another person creates another 20%, etc. So if the person who created the 10% is not fluent in English, but is in another language, then his English translations are going to be horrible. Then in other parts the target language might be poorly written, because the person writing the course learned English first, then that language, and is not very good at it. My impression of the situation is that when Duolingo was first created, Duolingo had actual fluent people help create the courses, but they were basic courses. This created courses that were well written and were error-free. The problem came when Duolingo wanted to expand those courses, add new language courses, but did not want to pay for the work. Duolingo decided to have volunteers do their work for them. They cannot fire them, or pay them, or expect anything from them really. They are not employees of Duolingo. The courses that Duolingo offers are not well constructed, because they are not written by people who understand the grammar well enough to know what to teach first, and how to teach it. You have to have experience to be a good teacher. Knowing a subject does not make you a good teacher. Teaching is an entirely different skill altogether. For example, just because you know English does not make you qualified to teach it. Do you know what a gerund is, and when it is appropriate to use it? Do you know what the subjunctive is, and how to use it? I doubt it.